Well, guys, you can see behind me here is the deck that we built. Deck's looking great, but if you look down here at the bottom of it, we haven't really done anything with that. It's just kind of empty underneath it. So I bought some lattice, and we're going to do some lattice work on the bottom of the deck. I'll kind of walk you through step by step. I can't record the whole time, just don't have the setup on the equipment, but I will be telling you what we're doing as we go along, and we will get started as soon as we roll the intro.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back.
We always start these videos with the basics. Coffee. Hey, and I was going to tell you about that too. We have a link in the description for this. This is the best coffee, man. It's Hawaiian hazelnut. And sometimes you see me do videos on, that you can use the great stuff, but this is the best coffee. There's a link down in the description. Now, sometimes when we're saving money or just wanting to get it at the store, we'll get, the great value at Walmart or, get this stuff or something. But, when we can and we're thinking about it and we're planning ahead, we get this one. It's Hawaiian Hazelnut by Copper Moon. I'm not sponsored by anybody, but, man, that's a good coffee. But no matter what we use, we always start with the basics. Coffee. So we're going to get started with this deck, but hey, do me a favor if you haven't done it already. Please take a second and click on that like and subscribe comments down below, and leave me any comments down there. We love to get the comments, and anyway, we appreciate you guys, and we'll get back to the video. All right, so step one on this, if you look below here, I didn't think this out very good. I put this fascia on when we're building the deck. What I wasn't thinking about, if I'd been smart, I would have gotten this fascia a little bit shorter than that, so I had something to bite onto when I'm doing some kind of skirting along the bottom. Since I didn't do that, I ended up getting some 2x4s, because there are 2x10s or 2x8s or whatever they are under here framing the deck. So I'm going to take a 2x4, turned sideways up there, mounted on the bottom so I have something to bite into for the skirting, and we'll get that put on. I'm not really as interested about how sturdy and everything it is. I just want something just to kind of deter animals and stuff from going under there. So, and something that just looks a little bit better. So, you can frame these, you can go all out on them, but we're just going to give something for that thing to bite on to let us put the whatever you call that stuff. Crap, I can't think of it now. Anyway, I'll think of it later. So step one, you can see I've already cut the one side of it, but first thing you're going to have to know is kind of how long that is. And you can see it's right about 8 foot. So looking at the edge, by the time I do 8 foot, it'll leave maybe about 1/8 of an inch down there at the bottom, which will be fine. What I've got to do, this side is like that other side I showed you. So see how smooth it is up under here? So I'm going to cut some strips of wood to kind of put under here, just so when I lift this up, I have something to kind of screw it to all along the top of it, just to kind of give it a basic whatever you call it. Can also go, if I wanted to, I could go across with a full 2x4 on the bottom. This is pretty low to it, so I ain't super worried about it. I'm going to cut them a little bit bigger, kind of dig them into the ground and put them there, so that kind of helps stabilize it. And I'll probably just kind of screw them along the top. Like I said, if this deck were any taller, this is just kind of coming off our porch, but if it were in the backyard It was a big deck. I'd probably do it more framing with 2x4s around the whole thing and put some support braces and do it a little bit more decorative. But when it's running this slow, I think it's going to be fine. I will let you know if I have any problems with doing it this way. I'm just kind of wanting to get something that kind of makes it look a little bit better. If I have any problems with it, you know me, I'll always let you know. That's what this whole channel's based on. All my wins and failures. All right. So one thing I wanted to show you guys, it's the front. I mean, I've got that piece of wood and that's a little bitty area. So I only got 2 8-foot 2x4s because I figure when I cut this, by the time I measure this thing, I'll come even with a 2x4 right here and go all the way down. I should have plenty to bite onto. The second one, if you look right here, see how the porch kind of cuts in. So I've got a good 4-foot piece. I'm gonna be cutting that other one probably pretty close to in half. So I'll have some other little pieces to do that same thing along the front of both of them. And there's plenty of wood with that main beam coming up. Should have plenty of wood for that thing is set in front of. So anyway, we'll see how it works out. The other thing I'm thinking of, if you look at the measurement on it, see how 8 foot right there comes a little bit shy of the deck. You can see the black mark there at 8 foot. But if I pull that out, it's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches short. So if I bring that kind of right to the edge, it leaves me a little gap at the end, but being that that's just something I'm biting on, I think it's going to be fine to have it, 1.5 inches from the very end is the last screw, about 2 inches from the end. And when I'm doing this front piece, that'll give me something to bite on this side too. So anyway, that's my thinking, and we'll see how that works out for me. You can see that other side, of course, I'm not even going to have to cut one of the 8-foot 2x4s to use on the other side. This one's sitting right at 6 foot. So, this one is 6, I should be able to cut about 2 feet off, which will give me the little bit more I need here. If you can look there, that's about 1 foot. On this side, it's probably pretty close to the same, maybe a little less. Yeah. So I should be able to cut that 2 foot off of it, and then I'll cut that board in half, and that should give me my foot on each side. So anyway, that should work out good. Now for this white fluffy shit, I forgot what they call it, but for doing that part, man, I'm just blanking out. I'm getting old. I'm kind of using just a jigsaw to cut that one. Works good and everything else. Of course, for the 2x4s, we're using a skill saw to cut that. So you can see I'm just gonna got those in the back of the truck. One of them I don't really need to cut. Don't really matter how pretty it is. If I was putting it on the outside of the deck, I'd be a little more picky, but it's straight wood. I'm gonna get them cut, and then I'm gonna go ahead and paint them, kind of let them sit out here and dry. Grab me some exterior paint, paint them white. That way if they show through the whatever that white grading crap is called, and I'm using vinyl grading, so it'll hold up a little bit better, won't fall apart as easy, and don't get as much like termite stuff going in it and everything else. So anyway, that's what I'm using. We'll probably be able to get the whole thing out of one piece. I bought 2 pieces for my neighbor. You've seen me, we've done, see the RV over there, we've done several of RVing with him. He had a couple of sheets, and anyway, he made me a good deal on those. So anyway, I'll probably use one of the sheets on this, and then the other one, think of some other honeydew project. And believe it or not, sometimes for this, it's better to just use some one. All I need is something for screws to be able to bite into. So I wanted to use like 1x3s, but believe it or not, the little hardware store I went to didn't have any. So all they had were 2x4s, which will work too. But anyway, so you can see You know, got it marked out at 6 foot. So I'm just gonna, don't have to be 100% accurate. I mean, I could even, you know, let's say I went just for my next cut, so that's gonna be about there. You know, my next cut, I could even go ahead and go here and mark it somewhere around there. Like I said, it doesn't have to be super accurate. If these things are a little bit short, this isn't really high precision cuts. I just need to be in the ballpark, or even a little bit shorter is better. So I may cut it a little shorter, and even shave some off this piece just so it's easier to get up under there. Nothing's in the way. So as you can see, all the wood is cut. I got my full piece. It's for my short side, and that's for the 2 end pieces. So now I'm gonna slap some paint on them and let them dry. So wise man always told me, measure twice, cut once. So I'm gonna get my measurements, the heights I do, and show you cutting on the, whatever that fluffy stuff, skirting, I forgot what it's called. So first we'll get the length of it. So when we're doing this, it's about 6 foot. Yeah, I can come in a little bit. I think 6 foot will work nicely on that. If I look at the depth over here, it's about 6.5 inches by, I think, by 7 3/4. So 6 foot by 8.5 inches by, what did I say, 6 3/4. And I gotta measure again. So there's all kinds of ways to measure that stuff. What I did last time for the longer piece, I used a chalk line, and I got it on my marks down on one end and kind of held them to the stuff with some vice grips, and then just stretch the chalk line out, snap the chalk line, and it puts a nice pretty line. This one, this is going to be a 6 foot piece for the first one, and I just happen to have cut a 6 foot piece of 2x4. So anyway, I'm going to use that as a straight edge. So however you got to mark it, just get it marked. Man, Texas is freaking hot in August. I had to come in and cool off for a second, and I'll get back out there. Man, it's been hot today. Whew. You can kind of see what it's going to look like down there. I'll show you. So anyway, it'll look a lot better with that lattice on there. It could be done better. You could have built a frame around it and all that, but like I said, I just wanted to kind of set off the porch. But anyway, makes the porch kind of pop a little bit more. I still got to put some screws. It started storming down here on me, so got my power tools inside. But anyway, but I do have the things in place. I've already kind of screwed it down on this side, so looks like the rain. Hey, Jesse! Oh, my dog! Damn it, my dog just ran away. Fuck. Well, the dog's back home safe and sound. Anyway, here's kind of what it looks like. I did get a couple of screws holding it, and I'll show you. So it just makes it look a lot better than just having dirt under it. And yeah, I'll put some corner pieces on where the sides and front kind of come together, but for now I got it screwed up there, and so you guys can see what it looks like. So anyway, definitely a DIY job unless you're going to get real fancy and do a bunch of stuff. And then, like I said, there's a lot of ideas. You can do framing around it. You can do all kinds of different stuff, or get a handyman or something, get real fancy with it. But I just wanted something to make it pop a little bit more than just the dirt under there. So hey guys, thanks for tuning into the channel and checking this out. And you know, we'll be making more of the videos. If you haven't done it already, take a little time, go to the channel, You can follow some of the links down below and go there and check out some of the other playlists. We got them on network engineering and stupid dad jokes. We got a bunch of videos. So anyway, thank you guys. We appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next video.